How about now?
How are we sounding? Can we just run that?
Every couple weeks.
So good, so good.
Every couple weeks. Listen, Lindsay, look at Lindsay. Sound is not working. Alert.
So funny.
We got it.
Well, let's start that again. Top of the morning to everyone.
Good morning.
Hope everyone had a great
Take
weekend.
two.
Yep. And hope those of you who are allowed to get in the golf course got on the golf course and got a few holes safely.
I heard some stuff happening. Yep. Some people playing golf.
Yep. Some people playing golf, which is great. So we are not playing golf. We're shoveling snow.
I know. The weather is absolute crap.
I know. But it looks like the end of the week. Finally, we're going to get some decent.
It looks like what, 16 Celsius, 17 Celsius?
Yep.
I'm gonna take this from Dave really quick. You see Rick Shields trying to hit 1,000 balls in a day?
How many did he hit?
He did it.
Oh, he did it?
Oh,
Good.
yeah. He looked tired, poor guy. I almost commented like, I feel like I've hit 1,000 balls in here many Mondays.
Yeah, I know.
Many Mondays I feel like I hit 1,000 balls. And I was also exhausted.
Yep, not an easy thing. My
golf
practice routine in Florida when I used to practice was 1,000 balls a day.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're talking about over the course of what, 8 hours or something?
Yeah, so I used to turn up at the course in the morning, 8 o'clock. One of the big baskets, the ones that they use on the back shop.
Teaching bag.
So I would get one of those and I'd go out, I'd hit those. That would take me till about probably 10:30. And then I would go and like putt or grab a little bite. I would play a few holes, come back in the afternoon, hit another one, and then do a little bit of short game, and then I'd hit kind of half one just to tune up at night time.
Smack a few more.
Yep, that was it. That was the routine.
Hitting some balls. All right, well, why don't we start answering some questions?
Let's do it.
All right. Drew, you're going to kick it off. Drew is asking, any shaft that will get me past the red tees? I'm tired of playing with my pants around my ankles. That is hilarious.
Ooh, the most expensive one you can find. That's clearly the answer.
That's really funny. I'm tired of playing with my pants around my ankles.
If you spend $700,
man.
it's guaranteed never to happen again.
I got the one for you, Drew.
Yeah. You got to get into
Actually,
some
let's make sure we get the stiffest one, too.
This is red tee proof.
Drew, this is what you need right here. $500 US.
Yep, 84 grams.
84 grams, extremely
X.
stiff. Yeah, that's the one for you. That's such a great question. Thanks, Drew. That was good for a laugh. Love starting the day with a laugh. What a beauty.
Let's see what's going on. Ty Lopez, get off my screen.
Ty Lopez, he's back, baby.
He's back.
After a brief hiatus.
PB Golf, should you always match your 3-wood shaft with your driver? I would say arguably you should not or ever or rarely match your 3-wood shaft to your driver. Such a different discipline. It's entirely different. You know, a golf shot that is required to be hit basically at ground level versus one that's significantly elevated. Very, very different. So no, very rare that you would want those two the same. And by the time you sort of cut them and the head properties on the end and stuff, they tend to play fairly different anyway.
Very nice. That was 3-wood shaft and driver shaft. Just in case you missed that. Okay. All right. That's a good one from Frank. Vertical CG location for the putter. How much kind of launch and spin action do you see with the putter versus like that? We had that Futura, remember that, whatever that was called? Futura something that we tested versus the Scotty Blade? Yeah,
so the, it's not that, so that would be sort of CG front to back on that.
Oh, that's
one.
not
that
vertical
would
CG.
sort of be vertical in the sense of the height. But it plays a part, there's no doubt about it. I think where I wouldn't really go, because it's not CG from the perspective of launch and spin as in the gear effect. It's more about impact ratio. So if the CG is low, the mass is significantly lower in the head, which means if you strike it high in the head, you're getting a bit of a dead strike because the mass is so much lower.
Makes sense. Yep.
So that's kind of going to be more of the effect. But Yeah, I think there's a bunch of other things to sort of almost kind of be more concerned about. So I wouldn't think it would be a significant.
Lovely.
Certainly, any of the guys that I know that design putters or even that operate these systems, vertical CG is not one that comes up in conversation a lot.
Gotcha. All right.
I'm going to jump in here with one for Brian. Brian hits the TS2 8.5 with an even flow. He's got good numbers, but he prefers to look at TS3. Could expect similar numbers with the TS3 and 9.5. The shop didn't have a demo. I think that's a fair assessment, Brian, and obviously with regards to the SureFit sleeve, you can turn it down to 8.75 should you not get exactly what you want from the 9.5. So, yeah, I definitely think you could do that.
Alrighty. Okay, from Rich. Rich is asking about his sim driver. He got fitted to the Aldila Rip X. He said, we tested the Rogue. Any thoughts on the Rip X shaft? We have not tested
I haven't tested it, no.
Do you know anything about it?
No, well, I mean, when you and I, do you remember they showed you and I it when we were in...
oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, okay,
when we were in Carlsbad?
So it just came out, basically?
Just came out, and...
Aldila Rip X.
Yeah, no, I haven't worked with it, I haven't had any sort of player feedback on it.
But if you were fit to it, Rich, then hopefully it works well for you. They do make good products anyway, so I would say be confident with that choice if it's working well.
Indeed. Throw a couple out of Matt. I'm sure running here, see if Rip X is in this.
It's on their website, yeah. All right. It's a general question if someone feels the driver shaft is very floppy when they swing.
Nobody likes it when it's
No one likes a floppy shaft. Yeah, Ping G Ultra regular driver. Shaft stiffness and probably shaft profile. Probably a little bit of both. Probably a little bit of both. If it's a regular flex, sounds like you could probably use something stiff or extra stiff. All right.
Yes.
You're good?
Yeah,
Oh.
throw a couple more. I'm going to try and get
New
into
member,
that Rip
welcome.
X.
Mike. Welcome, Mike. Drake, we'll find your question just a moment, hopefully. Or will I?
Keep going down. I think it's quite far down there. I think I saw it.
There it is. All right. The Graphite Design IZ in my 3-wood, is it tipped? I would assume so.
Yeah, it is tipped an inch.
1 inch. Okay. He plays the 7X in his Simmax, finds it super soft, aggressive loader. Get it tipped or buy a new shaft. So he swings 118 driver. Says he finds the 7X a bit soft. Is tipping that going to help enough, or should he just be looking at a different shaft if it feels kind of soft to him? IZ.
I would probably say try something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Try something else. All right.
Okay, so got kind of the lowdown on Rip X there. Who's that for again?
That was for Rich.
Rich. So by looking at it, it looks like an extension of obviously the old Rip family, Rip Alpha, Beta, Gamma family. Modern materials. Looks like more of a play on the Alpha, what used to be known as the Rip Alpha. Curious as to what model you're playing. Is it the 65 or the 75? It looks to me like they've stiffened it up with using some sort of higher modulus material and raised the torque so that it doesn't feel overly stiff, Rich. So it looks like a nice combination of something that's pretty stable. I mean, they've designated it as a mid-launch, low spin, I think it is, which basically gives you the idea of what the sort of bend profile is.
Lovely.
So it looks like it's something on the stiffer model, and by the guidelines on those torque numbers, those are high for that designation. So that's kind of what they've tried to do there.
Very nice. Okay, I'm going to grab a couple quick easy ones,
okay,
and then I'll throw it over to you. Would a faster swing speed lose ball speed by playing a softer ball? Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Yep.
At least a couple miles an hour.
So Rich is playing the 65 stiff on that
Perfect.
Vortex.
Scott, new member, welcome. Welcome, Scott.
Welcome.
Magnus is asking, would the Ping G400 still be a good buy? Yes.
Great buy.
Such a good buy.
Yep, just ask anyone at Ping. They'll tell you how good a buy that is.
Yep.
To
you.
We have Mike. He's a 6 handicapper, 6'1", static arm to ground length of 36 inches, 6 iron, it's 90 miles an hour. Currently uses a Ping, standard Ping I-25 stiff, C9. Okay. Typical divot on good strikes is toe heavy. More so on harder swings. I was fitted to T100. True spec.
Guys, these questions have got to be a little shorter for this format. It's hard to get through this.
Yep.
He has another one here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, Mike, it looks like a solid fit. It does look like a solid fit. Your original fit at Ping looked a little dodgy. Obviously playing particularly light in swing weight because of the grip choice. Really the 2G, the white 2G tour wrap that we spoke about, the white dyeing, that makes it quite a lot heavier than a standard black grip. That shaft's a bit soft for you as well, so you're going to get more downward deflection. So LZ is going to be decent for you. The only thing is obviously on the lie angle being 2 degrees flat when you're digging the toe in the ground anyway. Is that to do with a left miss? Someone like myself that raises the handle but misses on the left side. It is a tricky one. Definitely something that you should probably look at some point addressing with your technique.
All right.
But it sounds like a solid fit.
Good.
What was the second part of the question? Is it
you got to it.
I got it.
I mean, if you keep going down, there's a couple. He was asking about exactly what you said, lie angle and stuff like that.
Yeah. Got it.
Zachary's asking about a shaft that we found to be super high reading for a CPM, but feels quite smooth at the same time. I would say that the
irons or woods?
Woods, I think he's saying. So that Acro RPG for me would be my choice. Very stiff, but it doesn't feel overly stiff.
That's
the one, eh?
Yeah, definitely. From a torque perspective, like they have, it becomes a torque game. You can have shafts that are somewhat soft but very low in torque.
Yep.
Feel kind of boardy and rigid, and you get the opposite. And
Gotcha.
That RPG would be the opposite.
Lovely. Okay. From the Fat Man, 74.
Hello.
Okay. Aldolo Rogue White 130 80X. Is that too much for a 3-wood? I would say you need to be, very fast, probably very quick in transition to play something like that. That would be the answer to that part.
Too much for most.
Too much for most, Ian says, okay. G400 Max with a hazardous yellow, is that the counterbalance one?
Yep.
Okay, 75 MCC +4, align mid-size. Is that a bad setup?
Nope, good setup.
Yeah, because the head is quite heavy on that, so it should be balanced.
Tend to match each other quite well. I mean, the shafts that Ping put in their drivers from the factory are all counterbalanced with the exception of the Tour. So it's definitely a good one.
Okay, good. Do you want to grab one there?
Sure. Let's see.
In the present.
Christoph is struggling with a high. Oh, it keeps moving. Struggling with high spin. He's 105 miles an hour. He's got a TZ3 hazardous smoke 6.0. Low spin ball without compromising compression. Not sure I'm getting that one. Struggle with high spin.
What's that, a driver?
I'm not sure, Christoph, are you asking if a low spin ball is the answer? I'm not quite getting your question, but yeah, not sure what that one is, to be honest.
All right,
let's jump into another
let's move
one.
on. From Cole. Recently bought a Ping G410 Plus head and 9-degree graphite design Tour AD BB6X. He's launching it extremely high and spinny. Any thoughts? Not the lowest spin head would be my first thought. Try lofting it down, but you're probably an
You
LST
can.
or you may want to just move into a different head.
So someone like myself, like, it really doesn't. Even the G410 LST to me spun quite a bit. But I remember trying the G410 Plus, thinking like I wanted something that was a fairway finder. But we don't actually have a video on that.
Yeah, it definitely is a fairway finder, no question about it.
Yeah, it can be, but you're not going to be able to, even with the loft down, you're really not going to be able to control that spin if you are on the high spin end.
Probably head to a place where you can get on TrackMan and see, but you probably need to drop a bunch of spin. All right, a couple new members. Welcome, Grant. And Marty. Welcome, Marty.
Grant Marty. Jacob is asking, thoughts on putting dampeners like dowels or Sensicore in the irons just for fun? If it's just for fun, then crack on.
If that's your idea of fun.
If that's what you want to do for fun.
The Tiger Woods effect, the wood dowels.
Yeah.
Sure, try
Go
it.
for it. How tall is Matty?
Just under 6 feet. 5'11" and a quarter.
There you go. There you go.
I'll grab one here.
Go for it.
Okay. Okay. Oh, we got that one already. Is there a difference between the Srixon U85 and the P790 UDI? Yes. Quite a big difference, actually. Way lower spin on that P790.
Yep.
Where are those UDIs?
lefty.
Lefties? Ooh, there's
Completely
one.
different sole profile. So yeah, very, very different, those two.
Am I blind?
The P790 is much, much narrower. CG is a little bit higher, a little further forward.
Yeah.
It's exceptionally low spin.
This is the Srixon, much
Yeah.
wider sole.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can grab a piece.
I mean, the 6-iron
grab
would do it, eh?
Yeah, 6-iron. It's very similar design. It's not really changed. So I would say, generally
Sleep
speaking,
at
if
the
you
wheel
need
here.
to hit it a little bit higher, the Srixon's a really good option. And then if you need to hit it a little bit on the flatter side, if you're looking, maybe playing links or you need to keep that spin down, that would definitely be a good choice.
Love it. Quick one from Hector here. Texas area fitters. Do you have any recommendations for someone in Texas? He's asking about El Paso, but I don't think we can be that specific, Hector.
No, I don't know geographically who is good in the area. I know TrueSpec have some locations, and I think they're in Dallas. I think Club Champion are certainly everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
They're in Houston, probably San Antonio, Dallas, I would imagine.
Okay.
They'll have a bunch.
Good.
I don't know specifically on fitters, though. Gotcha. I don't know any of the guys out there.
Okay, new member, Dallas. Speaking of Dallas, welcome, Dallas.
Dallas?
Connor's asking about swing weight. Kind of influence do you see swing weight having on strike pattern and consistency?
No pattern that you can go, it does this. So,
But right and wrong, basically, is like if it suits someone, those things improve. If it doesn't suit them, heavy or light, then they get inconsistent, basically?
yeah, it's a tool we use to make a set have some continuity throughout, so you don't pick up clubs and go, this feels odd.
Yep.
I'm going to have to make a different swing at this one. It's trying to get that sense of what you do well with consistently and then keep that familiarity all the way through the set.
Gotcha. All right. Let me grab one more before I
Go for it, yeah.
move on here. I'll pop that one up on the screen for you. So Matthew's asking about the hazardous smoke yellow in his driver and 3-wood, and he uses a UST recoil in his driving iron, 130X Modus in his iron and wedges. Overall, is that a good fit?
I mean, honestly, Matthew, it seems consistent. I can comment on that. I have 352 shafts in the wall for a reason, because it gives me options. I've no way of it. I don't even know what heads they're in. I've no idea if that's a good fit.
It would be hard to tell.
All I can tell you is it seems to be consistent to itself.
Yep.
That
No
recommendation
outliers in there?
throughout, you know, so whatever chain of thought and whatever path, they've kept it consistent. Sometimes that can be, you know, a bit of a red flag is when you see a spec recommendation and they contradict each other quite a lot in terms of the profiles and that type of thing. I don't see anything that scares me on it, but I can't tell you if it's a good fit.
Okay. Fair enough. No point lying to you.
No. Nope.
Grab one. Grab one from there.
See, Brandon is playing a TS3 3-wood. Good choice. We like that one. Swing it at 113, 115. He's using a counterbalanced. Oh, he's asking, is a counterbalanced shaft like Hazardous Yellow or Ozic Black Tie better for that head? Yeah, again, it's one of those, isn't it?
It's a tough morning for questions, guys.
I mean,
is it fair to say
know.
that like these really detailed shaft questions, 1-to-1, like don't know anything about their swing, how about this shaft?
Yeah,
I don't know how we're going to answer these. This is not possible.
You get to the point where you select shaft based on results, and based on, you know, key timing and stuff like that. You know, it's not something like, if that was the case, if we were good at doing this type of thing, we would just open an online business.
If it were really entirely possible to do that without seeing them,
Yeah. I mean, if I can give you anything on that,
counterbalance shaft in a 3-wood doesn't seem like it's really necessary, eh? That would be the only thing I would have to say about it.
Yeah, maybe, but again, just you know, Brandon's tendencies.
Yeah, they're not there.
You know, they're just not there. I don't know anything about it, Brandon. So I can't say, honestly. I'm looking for something to give you there, but there's not much to give you. Unfortunately, these are tough this morning.
I'm going to avoid some shaft
questions
for a bit.
Guys, try to keep the specific ones, like, I have this head, I've got these two shafts, which one's going to work for me?
Give us some more information.
Yeah.
And we'll do our best. Grant has a question that I think I can answer. So you're going to be seeing Grant in September for a fitting.
Very cool.
He's asking if he should get Arcos on his clubs for the summer to develop a baseline.
Get Arcos, just generally speaking.
I mean, there's no reason not to.
Don't get it just for this, but get it just for yourself.
For your game, yeah.
Arcos might be the number one route to fastest way to improve your game for anyone out there. So, I mean, the amount of information that are coming from Arcos is significant. They have billions of data points right now. So, I just think you will learn so much about your game. And the benefit of doing it with us is we are going to have first-hand experience on how to interpret the data in a way of giving you feedback as to what do you do with that data. That's going to be it. So I would say the answer to your question is a definite yes.
All right, good. Welcome, Rich. New member, Rich. Matthew's asking about, so we've talked about higher spinning flights, having less. What is with these guys across the street just making noise all the time?
They're busy,
just
anyway. They're
noisy.
Busy boys.
So basically, spin loft, higher spinning flight, less curvature. We've talked about that. So when a company advertises that a ball is straighter flying, is there any value to that? Is it only if the aerodynamics suit that, or is it a bit of a myth?
That you can produce a straighter flying golf ball?
Independent of spin.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that. So I had a 45-minute phone call with the ball team at Titleist on Friday, and one of the main things we spoke about at the end was, does a higher rate of backspin straighten your ball flight?
Right.
My perception always has been, in practical application. Now I get the whole theory that if a ball spins more, it can curve offline more. I get that. I get that practical theory.
Yes.
But I also get the theory in aerodynamics that more backspin will cause more lift. More lift is going to offset some amount of, trying to make the ball do that. And the guys at Titleist concurred with that.
Really?
But that contradicts
what they say in the ball stuff.
Well, what we spoke to someone else about. Remember when we were talking about that spin loft video?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And So, and he said he'd heard the opposite from the guys at Titleist.
That's right.
So to your question is, yes, I think if you influence the aerodynamics pattern, you can definitely get a straighter flight, but you sacrifice so many other things.
Yep. Yeah.
One of the videos we're going to do today actually is related to golf ball and sort of launch conditions and that type of thing on the is a distance ball really the best for distance.
Can you actually hit a distance ball further?
Yeah, it does. A golf ball that's designated as a distance golf ball, does it actually go further than a regular golf ball or
like
premium
a
golf
tour ball or whatever? Yep. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna grab this one from Marty.
Okay.
Marty's a new member. Okay, so Marty's saying, I know lofting down normally opens the face, so we're talking about adjustable drivers. What does adjusting the lie angle do to the face? And this is specifically talking about Ping's new loft sleeve. So am I correct in saying there's 3 flat settings on the lie angle? One is -1 loft, one's even, and one's +1 loft.
Correct.
So what you can do, Marty, is you basically get to choose flat is flat on that sleeve, and then you choose the loft.
And face angle stays square. You will have obviously flat open, flat closed. So, I mean, there needs to be a video on loft sleeve. We have to get into that at some point.
My Apple note, my long note.
We have to do that one, and it's kind of just trying to explain to you guys how the manufacturers tilt the head. The head is the head. It's a fixed mass, and you basically manipulate the angle at which it sits. Up, down, open, close. You kind of rotate it up. You rotate it down. And you basically tilt the hosel sleeve in order to produce the right face angle at address. The right face angle at address is due to what you see happening dynamically. So you start with some amount of compensation to allow for the amount that a player, if you were to take it from neutral square and you come in open flat, well, if you start upright closed,
it'll then come in square.
You're then offsetting the amount that the player drops it into open flat. So you're trying to build in a bit of protection.
Gotcha. Yeah, we definitely will do a video on that, especially because every company's sleeve is different, so it's very hard to have any sort of consistent knowledge of it.
Exactly.
Okay, from the Chad Man. Chad Man is playing a Ping I-25 3-wood. So that would be the player's deeper face 3-wood, I would assume, from years ago. He wants an easier to launch 3-wood off the deck, but he hits the ball high off the tee. Well, luckily for you, it is the year of shallower face 3-woods that are still good on launch and spin, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So he's asking about Sim or Simmax, or another option. I would say Simmax is really easy to hit off the deck. I found Sim easy to hit off the deck too. I don't think you'd have an issue with either of those.
No, definitely not. I mean, even as face height has some variance, really what it comes down to is where's the CG located.
Yep, which is super low on that head. Yeah,
definitely.
Those would both be good choices. I would demo them, but they will both help quite a bit. All right, you grab one from the present.
From the present, not the future. Okay.
Not the future.
Does the stepped portion of the Acra steel iron go up and under the grip? Would you notice it with a thinner grip? No, it does not. So one thing we omitted from that video is basically the fact that this is a Dynamic Gold and a Project X.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Someone said that in the comments. I wasn't sure if that was true.
So that's one thing. That's one thing we never really spoke to the stepped butt section or sort of upper part of the
and
club.
Then no steps.
And then the stepless part in the bottom. So no, the steps kind of stop there. They don't, John. They don't continue up into the butt section.
Stops there.
Yeah, they're not. The steps aren't going all the way up into
2 inches.
Yeah, and that's common with all shafts. Even whatever stepped shaft there is, the steps don't continue up into the butt section to the point where you can feel them.
Which would make, you wouldn't want that.
No.
Okay, Cameron's asking about the 2016, 2017 Z-Star golf balls compared to the current ones. You can usually find them very cheap on Amazon.
Still a great golf ball.
It's still a great golf ball.
If price is your objective to try and spend a certain amount, then by all means crack on.
Yeah, I mean they've made, I think, cover differences, aerodynamic differences, but again, that's For a good deal, it's a great ball.
Definitely. Colin is saying, hi guys, hope you're well. I have a Ping G410 Plus with a Fujikura Pro 2.0 6S. What would you recommend trying in my Callaway XR 16 forward? And that give a... If he's playing that generally on this one. Try a Rogue Elite 859. Aldila Rogue Elite 859.
Nice.
Try that in 75. In fact, you can. Scratch that. Scratch that. Most of the shafts we've got are a little on the pricey side relative to that. You could take a look at Acra's FX 2.0 70 gram M4. That would be pretty good.
Nice.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to take a couple that I think I can answer.
Okay.
At least I think I can. We still have to get that whiteboard for the. I want to write my answer down and then
That
have
would
you
be
check
too
it.
good.
I just don't want to waste a bunch of paper because the environment is important, and I don't want to publicly waste
Correct.
paper. Okay, Brent is asking about the Aldila Rogue 125. So am I correct that that's the previous model?
It's a previous model, great shaft.
Great shaft.
Really good shaft.
He's asking if basically he's losing out by it not being the latest.
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
no,
not
no.
necessarily.
125 MSI is extremely high modulus graphites, high quality materials. They nudged it into the 130 and used slightly higher grade materials. Most people probably, arguably, wouldn't see the difference.
Yeah. Improved, but not necessarily going to.
Yeah.
Marcos. I hope I'm saying that right. New member, welcome. Welcome.
Jasper's asking, he's got a high iron speed of 92. What is better, a 105 or a 120 modus? A 120X for you, Jasper, is what you need.
Lovely. Ed is asking about what?
That's just a question. I was chatting with someone the other day about it.
Oh, that's funny. Ed's asking about shaft length on irons, or just a set in general. So all the shafts on the wall are half-inch increments?
Yep.
For length? He's basically asking, like, how would you build to quarter-inch? Would you recommend people quarter-inch increments? Is that something that you just, then you work it into the build, basically, after the fact?
Yeah, it would be something if we saw a benefit of potentially from a weighting standpoint, or if someone was very comfortable at a certain 37 and 3/4, etc.
Gotcha. All right. Jeff's asking about when you hot melt a head. Where does it specifically go? It's always sole, like you're never putting it near the face really, or like hot melt goes down to the bottom of the club, obviously.
You place it wherever you need it.
But you wouldn't put it on the face of a driver.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you can.
Can you?
If you want that CG forward, yeah, you can.
Would that
get
not make
in
it feel
there.
really weird if it was like all covered in hot melt at the back?
The face, make it feel like from a
I don't know,
when
like
you
just,
hit it.
just picturing like the face is flexing to some degree. If it just has a bunch of glue on the back of it, wouldn't just like come loose and like rattle out?
No.
Really?
It's like super sticky.
So it has flexibility.
Oh yeah, completely.
I've
It
never
doesn't
actually-
go like epoxy where like
So it doesn't
could crack
solidify?
off. No, never.
I've never seen this
No.
stuff actually.
And that's why, like, if you have like a little bit of hot melt inside a head, if you've got rattle, is good because it catches the
Just gets the
rattle and
crap
it never
awesome.
gets loose.
Hot melt, the magic item. Oh, there's Austin. There's all the usual members are saying, where's Austin? He's here.
He's there.
Tom's asking about getting fitted for something, and then the new model just comes out right after, which is unfortunately not uncommon. Is it a bad idea to just replace the head with the new model? Probably, because unless the new model is identical to the previous model, which it wouldn't be, or they wouldn't make a new model, you should at least demo it and make sure. But yeah, generally speaking, that's not something I would do. Not something I would do.
I've seen some stuff online about certain companies doing online business recently, and obviously with the way the kind of current climate is, they're trying to get online sales and comparing current models to old models. So if you're in this older model, think about getting this one and this one. If
Okay.
you were fitted into a TaylorMade M4, you know, these are the heads you need to look at, etc., etc. So isn't this not a bad idea?
Yeah, to have some baseline numbers and stuff. Okay.
Russ has got a question about some chat on Discord. Morning, Russ.
Let me pop that on the screen.
There is a question in Discord about spin. Is there an element to how balls shed or retain spin over the course of the entire flight that the launch monitors don't tell us? Landing spin, etc.
So spin versus when it took off and spin when it lands. I never thought about that, actually.
Yeah. Is there an element to how balls shed or retain?
So I think he's asking, like, would one ball, based on the dimple pattern or construction, would it retain spin better than another ball?
No.
So it should
It's a
deteriorate on the way.
Yeah, it's a value of just that spin model, that
Does TrackMan? There's no way TrackMan could read the spin.
incoming spin.
100. Someone would have to design some. No, there's no way.
It's what we know from a stopping power perspective on spin rate as it exits, land angle as it enters.
Right.
That's all you can control. So there has been some really interesting research done on that stuff. I know the guys at Ping have done some. I remember actually it was in Andrew Rice's lockdown learning series with the guys at Ping. They talked about spin upon entry to the green and that sort of thing. I think they found that land angle was just a more effective way
To assess that
yeah.
at the end. Yeah. Makes sense. Good question, though.
Very good question.
If you don't have one, I've got one ready.
Go for it. Go for it.
Did you get this one from Christopher?
What is that?
A ball to lower driver spin, 105 mile an hour swing speed. No, we didn't. I don't think we got
For
this.
105?
Yeah, ball to lower driver spin. It will depend on the ball you're using now, I guess.
So
but-
lower spin, I mean, you can certainly look at, I'd say TP5X would probably be the ball that's, in general consumption, would be really good. I think Left Dash Pro V1 is going to be the main
It's a
choice
killer,
for
yep,
most.
definitely a killer. All right, new member, Daniel. Welcome, Daniel.
Welcome, Daniel, my man.
Welcome.
Okay.
Okay, here's one here. So for someone who plays the G700 irons, if they're looking to get the i500 in the same specs, wants to try a smaller head. I mean, the G700 is like a very game improvement, larger, higher launching head. i500s are, what, more of a ball speed thing, hollow construction?
Yeah, CG isn't quite as low. So
You'd expect the flight to look quite a bit different?
yeah, maybe a little flatter in flight in the i5.
Yep,
Yep.
would expect that.
Yep.
Which may or may not suit you.
Yeah, I would say probably the difference is solvable with a golf ball choice. I think if you get into a specific type of golf ball, you'd be good.
Love it. Okay. You got one
Guys, for everyone in Discord, I'll dig a little bit deeper and give you a slightly more in-depth answer about that golf ball one, because it seems like that was chatted amongst the crew. I'll make a little note for myself to give you guys
Beautiful.
some kind of raw data on
Pen?
that.
All right. He's making a note, folks. Okay, so Matthew is currently playing KBSC Taper 130X. He's got some arthritis issues, so he wants to switch to Graphite. Tried the MMT 125 TX, but felt they were on the whippy side. Need weight for tempo. So high weight, stiffest Graphite iron shafts. What would you recommend?
High weight and stiffest. And that MMT 125 isn't doing the trick.
Wasn't doing the trick. Dig for a bit. You want to come back to it?
Let me mull that one for a second.
All right, he's mulling, Matthew. He will get back to you. I will take a few gimmies. Melvin's asking about If each iron is assessed for lie angle, yes. In a proper fitting, you will get your lie and loft gapped and adjusted all the way through the set. Wedge through longest iron. We will definitely recommend that. Graphite. A couple questions about Graphite bi-matrix shaft. Do they still produce it, or is it just like people are getting?
Probably is still available.
That's crazy. Like they make it and manufacture that thing?
Yeah, do you know, it's probably not even, they probably still offer it because they had so many left.
There's like 1 million in the warehouse.
Yeah. On our list, actually, of I've ordered 2 shafts for Matty to try. I'm going to build you an X100 in a driver.
In a driver?
And an X100 in a fairway wood.
Yeah, was it Jimmy Walker was screwing around with?
Yeah, and Robert Rock, actually. Yeah.
Really?
So Robert Rock also plays X100 in his
quite
fairway wood.
interesting.
So I've ordered 2 for you, and we're going to build you up with a Callaway tip and a Titleist tip, and we're going to put them in your driver and 3-wood.
Love it. I think there's a ton of people. The number of times we've seen that question since we started this channel.
A lot, eh?
Maybe not so much the driver, but definitely the 3-wood. Do you have one ready?
Just JP's just saying the Discord is amazing. Every new member, don't forget to link your YouTube to Discord to join a great community there and have some great chats.
Love it.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
It's growing every day. We're getting close to 100 people using it now.
Is that right?
There's lots of chat on there.
I got to download it.
I'll do it for you today. Yep, I'll get you hooked up. You
download it, get amongst
moderator status immediately.
Amongst it.
Moderator status granted.
Yes.
All right. I'm back to. Where am I? Bear with me while I scroll.
Quick one here from Lottie. Does a shaft have a lifespan? The answer is no. No. They do not degrade in the way that some people think they degrade, and that they get softer or sort of brittle and that sort of thing. I mean, there were cases where steel shafts, if rust got down them, it developed some weakness, and ultimately they would break.
That's a different kind of.
That's a different
story, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Actually, no. I think I'm good.
Okay.
I'm back. I got one here if you want.
Go for it, pal.
Okay, so Sebastian is asking about his sim driver. He's got sim driver with Aldolo Rogue Silver X. He's finding it difficult to square the face. He's got an Epic Flash 3-wood with a Tensi blue, and he has an easy time squaring the face. So is that a 3-wood versus driver distance, or is that Rogue Silver X potentially
high balance point?
It's high balance point.
High balance. You might be a little light on swing weight.
So either adjust extra head weight in the sim driver head, sorry, I'm confusing myself, or a shaft that is not high balance point.
Yep.
So a swing weight issue, Sebastian.
I would think that would be a good place to start with it, Sebastian. Obviously, take a look at some things with regard. I'm sure you've already looked at weight in the heel and trying to get the head to rotate a little bit more.
Gotcha. I'm just putting the note up to hang on to your question if you haven't already asked it. It's getting to that time in the live already.
Victor's asking, he's at swing speed of 105, currently using a Callaway Epic with a hazardous 65 T800. Stiff, it's a bit flimsy. Hits high launch, he hits a high launch, high spin is a slice miss. Shaft suggestions to try. Shaft suggestions to try. What could you try? You could, at 105, Victor, you could get into some. You get into Ventus Black if you wanted to spend a little bit and treat yourself. You could treat yourself. What else could you get into? Something that's going to deflect a little bit less for you there. Motori X F1, that would be nice. That'd be really nice actually in there. Obviously, work on the loft sleeve as well, trying to get that down. If you want a little sneaky hack, try if your loft isn't enough to get down, put a left-handed sleeve on and put it to +2, and you can knock it down by 2 degrees. That might be a better solution for you.
Sneaky.
But to stiffen up the shaft, Acra TZ5 65 M4, Motori X F1 65 stiff, and the other one I said I think was the Ventus Black 6S.
Okay. All right, I got a couple here.
Okay.
Kyle's asking, why have you selected the Lampkin Sonar grips on the shaft wall behind us?
Yeah, so the Genesis material that Lampkin have came up with is significantly longer lasting than any other rubber compound on the market today. So for us, it's a longevity thing. So it's super tacky. I love the fingerprint technology. I love the feel and get great feedback on it. It's now became our best-selling grip when we build golf clubs because people like it so much in the fit. Chris Vishal gave us a really good little nugget. Mizuno had been testing grips. They took a load of different grips, staked them, and then stuck them out the back of the offices and Mizuno headquarters in Atlanta. Came back to them and they checked them every month. After 6 months, the only grip that was still usable was the Lampkin Sonar.
The other ones were cooked?
Yeah.
Fire roasted in the Atlanta sun. Okay, from Zach. Zach is asking about iron.
I'll start going up on the supers to meet you in the middle.
Yes, exactly. So Zach's asking about his iron shaft. So Zach is currently playing C-Taper Light X in his 718 blades, KBS 610 wedge in his wedges. Not one I know, but he's looking to add weight to the iron shaft. So he's saying Project X 6.5 in the irons, or 7.0 in the wedges to create a similar progression to what he's currently playing.
I get what you're saying about the 7.0s, Zach, but I wouldn't go probably into 7.0 and soft step. It's a really stout shaft. I'd probably either look at soft stepping your 6.5 and just staying at the weight they're at the 125. You could go to like an S3 or S400. Gives you that softer, heavier sort of progression.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Rich is following up with his question here. He got fitted for Modus 105 with P790s, looking for split set 760, 8 to pitch and wedge to get more spin. Should use the same shaft. Yes, you should definitely use the same shaft. Not the worst idea in the world to do that. Go 760, 8 to pitch and wedge, and golf ball rich is the key for you with regards to getting that spin that you're looking for. I would suggest take a look at Pro V1X. Take a look at that. That should add a nice amount of spin for you.
It's a lovely golf ball.
It's a lovely ball.
Okay, I'm going to fulfill my promise that I didn't fulfill earlier. DJ air horn. Because the audio was off because I'm a dummy and I'm half asleep.
Mike is asking, so Mike's following on. So if Mike got his T100s too flat, can they be bent to 2 up? Will the 4 degree of bending mess with integrity? It will not. Not in that head. Not when it's forged. If it's cast, yeah, you're likely going to hear some metal failure at that point.
Exploding. Okay, and let me grab a couple in here somewhere. From another Ian. Ian's asking about senior shafts. Recommended shafts in steel. So a shaft for a senior player doesn't want to go to graphite, it sounds like. What do you like?
Like Nippon NS Pro. Anything in the NS Pro range is good. So you've got the 850, your 85 gram option. You've got your 950, which is one of the highest selling shafts in the world. Fits so many people. If that is even a little bit on the heavy side, you can always look at the Zelos range, which goes down to something like 65 grams. Super, super light, but it gets very thin on the wall diameter.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Or the shaft diameter.
Okay.
Matt is asking putter head recommendation. So he's got slight arc, struggles with low launch angle and short putts. He prefers heavy over light. Fear of hitting the putt too hard. Okay. You have a fear, so if I reverse engineer what you've just told me, you have a fear of hitting it too hard because you have a low launch angle. You have a low launch angle because you present the shaft forward too much, so you basically have too much energy going into the golf ball. You need to get that CG back a little bit. I would tell you to play with what you feel like, where you feel like the weight is. I'd probably move it up under your hands and take it away from the head. I'd want a little bit less mass hitting the golf ball just to take a little bit that impact ratio down a little bit.
Makes sense. Reducing smash factor, basically?
Correct, yeah. Slight arc, again, slight arc is good to know from how it influences the face to rotate, but I still would need to know where the face angle is. Path is arguably less than 10% of the information. You need to know what the golf ball is going to do.
With putting.
90% is what the face it does. So we're going to do a really interesting little video. We might manage it this week. It might be a next week video. It probably will be a next week video, actually, thinking about being over in the putter studio.
Yeah.
We're going to basically help you guys build a home fitting kit for putters.
Ooh, I like that.
We're going to explain how to do that, and so you guys can either, from the putters you have at home, test them all and see which one fits, or work on your stroke to fulfill the sort of launch and directional criteria to hit a good putt.
Love it.
I think it'll be a pretty good one.
That sounds great to me. Mike is asking, basically at what point in the player's progression would you recommend moving away from game improvement irons to something different? Good question, Mike.
Is that where we're meeting? We're literally meeting in the middle there.
Are we?
Yeah.
Aye.
Smashing. Okay, I'll go back down the bottom.
Yeah, you go then.
Can you speak to move from game improvement to something different? Is it score or confidence or something? Well, score obviously tends to reflect your striking. That's definitely part of that. Confidence, yeah, I would say confidence is a good, has got to be part of it as well, because you've got to be comfortable that you're not looking down and seeing as much real estate down there. So I think confidence is part of it. But ultimately, it should be data-driven, test-driven results that lead you away from that style of head. You know, hopefully we'll be taking you away from the needing the characteristics of those game improvement heads into something that gives you other options with your ball flight. Consistency
of distance control and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. If you see one, go for it. I'm going to grab one too.
Ruben is using a Modus 105 stiff in his irons. What can he use as a driving iron? Shaft. I would imagine shaft. What can I use on a driving iron? Yeah. 95 miles an hour on his 2-iron. Ruben, I would be advising you to use, I'd be telling you to get into have a look at a Graphite Design IZ85 stiff. You could use a VA Ryzen 85-4, which is stiff. Both of those would be good.
Lovely. Okay. Did you grab this one from Victor? Yes, you did. Oh yeah, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Bailey's asking about a very low lofted 2 hybrid and its relation to a 3-wood. That's a video that we're going to do.
Yeah, well, is a video, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Bailey, you will be treated to a video in the next month or so on that exact topic. So stay tuned.
That is on the list. Daniel is asking, he has a strong 3-wood shaft question. He's at Bonneton in Glasgow, poor driver. His 3-wood is a 14.5 TS2 with a Tensei Blue. Yeah, Daniel, you could play the same shaft in that, no problem. Just by turning the loft down. Yeah, it's no problem at all. If you like the shaft, the Tensei Blue, and it's more of a timing thing for you anyway. So gotcha. If you're just presenting less loft to it, then it should be no problem at all.
All right, new member JC. Welcome. Paul gave you a DJ air horn. That's a super bonus just for you. A few new members are asking about signing up for Discord. So
cool.
2 things. If you have access to a laptop or a desktop computer, sign up on there. And by sign up, I just mean create your account and link your YouTube account. I'm hearing that that's the easiest, fastest way to do it. And then after that, you can get the app. The app looks like this. So you'll see a bunch of different topics down the left side. You'll see who's online on the right side. We have over 100 TXG members so far using it. It's basically just a place where you can chat with fellow members. I chime in once in a while. I think Ian's going to grab it and be able to kind of dig into the chat once in a while too. So that is the spiel on that.
Guys, if we are going to do a sort of club building, a series of club building videos, what do you want to see? Let us know. What do you want to see? What do you want to know about when it comes to club building? Do you want to know sort of the build process on weight sorting? Do you want to know about frequency matching? Do you want to know on, tell us about any part of it you want to know, finishing of ferrules and final touches during our quality assurance process? Like
all of it.
What do you want to know?
Yeah, let us know. We'll start compiling a list.
Taylor is saying, Ian, you need to be ergonomically fit at your desk if you don't want a sore neck. I bet you read this leaning in and looking down. Well, I mean...
Now he's doing the opposite.
I know, I'm kind of leaning back and chilling. Do you know what I found is the worst? When I've got the little fella, and I don't even notice, I didn't notice till yesterday because my neck has been so much better. And then yesterday, like I'm feeding him and I'm like...
Just like in that
I'm
position.
just in that position, like giving him his bottle and I'm like... And after like I give him his bottle, he's up for like 25 minutes. I'm like, oh, that's pain.
My neck.
My neck.
Another new member, Old Trail Mix. Sure that's your first and legal name. Welcome. Glockenspiel for you.
These chairs are, I'm literally going to throw these chairs out. They never used to be like this.
They just started squeaking like a few weeks ago.
The rubber off the bottom must have like just worn down.
You can't even blink without them squeaking.
It's horrendous. So, standing desk, weight sorting, Zach is saying for the videos. Ben is saying, need more videos on stock shaft versus fitted. S300s are always off the rack. Yep. Specialty builds like Tiger using wooden dowels and everything above.
I think we'll do lots of kind of just like little fly on the wall stuff. I've already warned Mikey that I'm going to follow him around with the camera, which he's going to love. Just to see how the process is going. I said to him, like, I don't know anything about club building, so we can kind of go in there and I can be the one asking kind of the dumb questions and he can talk us through it. So what are you smiling about over there?
No, I literally just, I went from sitting forward to back and the seat went, like, made a huge screech. I'm like, fuck off.
Listen, seat.
Listen, get
we
out
got
of here.
work to do. Okay, why don't we take a couple more from the present and then we'll get filmed.
Extra Stiff Golf is saying, any way to ensure our super chat answers,
we do
questions
our
get answered.
best. Did we miss yours? Let us know. I thought we were good today.
We get 99.9%, so if we missed...
if we missed yours, re-ask it, because I'm pretty sure we got all of the rest of them.
Yeah, I thought we were good. Can we also get Mikey and Chris on Discord as well? Guys, what you have to realise is that the guys, obviously, this is sort of a different deal with you know, Matt and I doing the YouTube stuff. This is kind of like my role at TXG is doing this stuff. You know, the boys are fitting and building, doing so many other things. I can't ask them to eat their own time and get in. And as much as I would love them to, they're just too busy.
Yeah.
The boys they have too much other stuff on. And Chris is a PhD student. He already does over and above, you know, answering questions. I mean, you know, I could honestly almost turn Instagram questions into a full-time job now.
It is a business of itself, isn't it?
I just don't have time for it, to be honest. You know, it's something like I switch my questions off.
Yeah.
Because I need to try to separate, like, you know, the two worlds. I love going in and doing them from time to time. But realistically, it's too difficult. So to get Chris and Mike on to doing it as well, it's really, really tough. They'll have their moments.
An occasional thing. We'll make events from it. I think that's realistic. Yeah. It won't be something we can do. They won't be in there 24 hours a day, though.
Yeah, no.
I was trying to find Matthew's comment. I know it's in there somewhere. You were mulling it, and then we forgot. I wish you could just do it.
Smoke.
You can't control F in these, unfortunately. I wish you could.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm up at the top and I don't see it.
Matthew, quickly re-ask yours for us.
Yeah, re-ask if you can, my man.
And we'll grab it before we sign off. 'Cause I don't see it. Damn. Oh, I got it. Nice. Yes. Heavier weight graphite iron shafts. That's what we were talking about. So you found MMT to be a little floppy, wanted something else.
There's not many, in all honesty. I know at Mitsubishi they were talking about coming up with like 140 gram graphite option, specifically in wedges. 125. Racking my brain as to what's sort of out there. Most people who go in that direction. Let's see. Acro.
A couple of people were chiming in that LA Golf has obviously those crazy stiff rebar shafts.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get a set of those for one of our customers.
All right, okay.
Yep.
So that's an option. I'll quickly take this. Captain America was asking about the driving iron that I was fit for last year. It was a Callaway X Forged. Yes, it gets you the exact model. X Forged UT is what that one was. It's this guy right here. Still current. Still current.
Yeah, the Acro do 127 gram, the 125i Tour graphite. But again, probably in this very similar window to MMT 125.
So you have to go a little more extreme in those. Maybe the rebars are for you.
Yeah, I mean, they're super stiff. Did you see Bryson, his ball speed up at 205?
No, I didn't see that.
He had his ball speed. He around the President's Cup time, he was talking about how much kind of mass he'd put on and stuff. And to be honest, he just looked like he'd gained weight. He just looked like a big lad. He looked like he'd enjoyed Thanksgiving a little bit too much. He just looked heavy.
Well, that was his bulking session, right?
He looks massive now.
Does he?
His arm looks like a leg. He literally
He's
just in thickness. Like he doesn't look as if he's gotten like muscular or anything like that. He just looks massive.
Huh. That's wild. 205 ball speed.
Yeah.
That is a different world.
205 ball speed. 130 something club speed he had.
On quad or on?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, I think we should.
Dave's saying Bryson is on drugs. Period.
I doubt it. I doubt it. Okay. Yeah. Let's sign off. Let's get into some filming. We got lots to do today.
Do that.
Lots of exciting topics.
Let's definitely do that. Just like my guy call in there. He's saying becoming a parent is the #1 cause of neck and back pain.
Bunch of pain.
Also the #1 source of happiness and joy.
I'll
say that.
All right, good. And on that note, why don't we sign off?
Ruben's just snuck it. Oh, where is that?
You grabbed that already.
I think I ate that one.
Okay, Ruben, we'll grab it again really quick.
We got you there, pal. I mean, I wish I could give you your whatever currency that is back in your 10 because we did get it. The recommendation was an IZ85 stiff or what was the other one we recommended?
I don't know. I can't believe you remembered one. What are we talking about? Driving irons?
Yeah.
Wasn't it a Ryzen or something?
Ryzen 85 as well. Yeah, Ryzen 85 as well. Yeah,
lovely.
That's what it was.
All's well that ends well. All right. We will see you guys Thursday.
Yes.
We'll see you Thursday.
Yes.
There's another video coming out today. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard
2 p.m. Yeah, we're doubling up on the Vids Today crew.
You will see a video about whether or not you should tee up your ball on a par 3.
Yeah, quick kind of throw the answers in here. I know we've done
I did a little poll on.
Yeah, how many of you use a tee when on a par 3?
When on a par 3, do you use a tee?
A tee?
Yeah, throw it in the comments actually, because we're going to sign off. So throw it in the comments.
Throw it in there. Let us know. Yeah, get into that one. I think it's interesting the differences that you guys don't even understand. No one, not just saying you guys, no one understands are happening when you put the ball in the tee.
Dynamically and how it affects your swing.
Were you surprised when you
I was shocked. Well, so when we did it, I think we filmed the video and we were both like, is anyone going to care about that? But when I was editing it, there's really good nuggets in there.
Yeah.
And especially the club delivery changes as the ball went from the ground to a little bit of a tee and then up. to a big high tee.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure most people watching that will get something out of it. So
It's good.
let us know what you think when it comes out. 2
It is
p.m.
good.
Eastern Standard Time, just a few hours away.
A little teaser, on next Monday. Does anyone want 10 miles an hour driver club hits?
Next Monday.
Next Monday.
What's going on?
Next
Specifically next Monday.
Next Monday.
Live or episode?
Could be a live. That could be that'd be wicked to do it actually as a live.
We can do it during the live, or we can make it a bonus live.
That's a question put out there.
Okay.
Does anyone want 10 miles an hour driver speed in 30 minutes?
Oh, in 30 minutes?
In 30 minutes.
Or less. Or your money back, which, because it's free, is nothing. All right,
Okay.
off we go.
Love it.
We'll see you guys on Thursday. Thanks for tuning in.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
We obviously know today's video. We don't know tomorrow's video. We can't.
We're
even
filming
give
tomorrow's video today.
today. Okay. So we can't even give you a little sneaky.
We'll give you some sneakies on Instagram.
Yeah, jump over to Instagram if you want the sneakies on what the video has been filmed today.
I'll take some stories all day.
That's
So
a
we'll keep you
good
apprised.
idea.
Okay.
All right.
See you guys later.
Have a good one.